The following video contains coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Go doing a walk up with the guest. We haven't done a guest walk up before, have we?
I don't know.
Very interesting.
Maybe.
Well, I'm excited for this one.
Heck yeah.
I just wanted you to know that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Uncle Gramma's Story Time. He is Uncle Gramma. My name is Gary, and who's this handsome fellow over here, bro?
It's our good buddy, Andrew.
Andrew! Yeah, what's up?
Pleasure to be here.
So pumped to have you. Dude, I was so excited when I saw your face. When I was walking out, I thought you were Sabelm at first. Well, just acknowledge it now. To be fair, I was looking through the window, through the door after walking out of the incredible tooth booth here, and I didn't get a good look, and then I screamed his name. And then I came out and said, "Oh no, it's Andrew!" Like, hey! Instant hug. Like, I get it all the time, you say. And it's like, man.
Literally all the time.
If I had one day,
The
not
two
even one
guys.
day, 1 minute of the beauty that you both possess, that'd be the best life ever. It's just wild. So, yeah. just wanna
But
get
two
that out
guys with dreads. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
there. Handsome
He's
as
got to
all
be
hell.
one of them.
I'll kick that up one more level. You know who else I get that with?
Oh, yeah.
Is Theo Brown.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But
He's
yeah.
like 60.
Yeah.
And like
Sometimes we take what we can get, hey?
Yeah. Well,
That's it.
that's a real good compliment to Theo. Shout out Theo.
Hell yeah.
yeah, man.
So what
Looking
we
good.
do around here, we kick off shows. Now, what you don't know about Uncle Gramma is that he has a pet AI that he keeps in his basement at his house. And whenever he gets ready for the show, he goes down to his Tamagotchi AI Skynet Terminator and says, "Here, take, create for us." And then he says, "Please don't murder me when you take over the world." He walks out. I'm still waiting for the T1000s to show up because of these things, but we both take turns guessing, or we don't take turns, we just guess what keywords he entered into his Skynet Tamagotchi pet to create this thing.
It looks like a Terminator drummer too.
We're getting
Hell
there.
yeah.
He's got some weird chainmail thing on his face.
I'm gonna make a go here. This is a joint drumsticks
Whoa! I didn't
banging
even see
on a fire stage with a sick outfit and a fantastic kit. Way
Okay.
too many words again. I overdid it. Andrew, what do you think?
Man, you're like pretty spot on with that. I never even seen the joint thing until you said it.
Yeah.
But those are definitely two fat joints
that. In the same hand.
in the same hand. He's doing that Mater guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Yoni Mater.
Yoni Mater, yeah.
Is that like you guys doing drummer talk again? Is that like
There's gonna be a
like
whole shitload
one-handed
of that.
double stick gravity blast type of thing?
Kind of, but he'll do like he'll do like polyrhythms and different types of rudiments and stuff like
So you
that,
already
all
lost
in
me,
one
yeah,
hand
of course.
with two different sticks. It's
Insanity.
crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah. It's kind of wild.
How much you want to bet his wife is obsessed with his hands?
I guarantee
I
it.
bet you. You're not
Guarantee
going
it.
anywhere.
Yeah.
It's
You're
either
gonna do that thing.
it's
You know
either
the
that.
one-handed thing with the two joints? Yeah, then you're playing the drums? Yeah, that's the one.
If he's married.
Yeah,
You know, like
or he just has like a ton of just a lineup of.
all the
Yeah.
ladies are coming.
He's just a pleaser. He's
And those are like 20-inch hats.
Right?
20-inch hats with a.
Looks like a weird stack thing over there.
Yeah, it looks like a stack hat.
Snares on the. It
it
actually
upside
kind of
down?
makes sense if he had a snare and a cymbal right there with both sticks. He could do something like that.
It would appear that he'd be doing two different drummers' works at the same time.
Right. It's a really bizarre setup.
I like it though.
And like, what's this? Connected to his leg?
It's going through his leg.
It's
man.
going through his leg.
Dude, maybe that might be a stand.
That's the Terminator coming out of him.
His T1000 is liquefying into a new form.
Oh,
That's all
it's
that is.
silly.
I met that guy.
The T1000 guy?
Yeah, they did this really awful movie in La Ronge when I was a kid. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
That's like Richard Patrick's
Yep.
brother, right? The filter singer.
What?
Yeah,
That's his brother?
T1000.
T1000?
Yeah.
That's his brother?
From Terminator 2? Yeah.
Hey, and also RoboCop, Peter Walker? Or no, Peter...
There's way too much
I never
knowledge
knew
getting
his
dropped
name.
now.
It's called The Decoy. That's what it's called.
Cool.
It's called The Decoy, and it was all
think I
shot
rem-
in Laurent.
I think I remember seeing that on VHS with Durant.
Yeah.
Has like a big target on. Like, the
Yeah,
front,
you bet.
like a scope.
Yeah.
The decoy.
So they shot a lot of the movie behind the school that I went to.
Huh.
And I remember one day after school, there was all these buses, and I was like, "What's going on?" And I was obviously a huge Terminator fan,
Yeah.
like any other
Hell yeah.
8-year-old boy.
Dude,
That would have
fuck
been
yeah.
so nuts.
It was
like,
crazy. It was like outside the movie, but it was like a real movie. He came out of the bus, dude, and right away I was like, T1000. Just imagine a little me, T1000. He
But
took a
it's-
picture with me and like signed stuff for me and everything.
but you knew it wasn't like, this isn't real. Like T1000's all of a sudden like coming to the Rons. The world has already ended.
Yeah, you got no John Connor, no Sarah
Holy-
Connor. You're
Nope.
just
He
like
did his job, mission complete.
That's it,
He's
yeah.
coming over here to get rid of us now.
and retire.
Or he's retiring, going
Yeah.
fishing.
Call
It's
it
like, I
a
just really
Skynet
want to
day.
build a little cabin, live off grid.
What a great visual. Hey?
I bet that if that's what happens, robots become sentient and all that stuff, they'll just want to chill.
Dude, how hilarious would that
That'd be
be?
nice. That'd be the best.
They'll just,
You guys are way too fucked up, man. I'm just gonna not do anything and hang out here.
like, you
Let-
know
let
what?
you
I'm
kill
just
each
going to
other.
design myself to be a really good ice fisherman.
Yeah.
Ice fisherman.
And he'd do it all with his hands.
That's what I'm
Shoo!
thinking, man. Exactly. Shoot his
Well, they'd
blade
be able
arms
to
down.
like hunt really
He'd use
good.
that finger and just
Zunk,
catch
yeah.
that fish.
Exactly.
Chomp, chomp.
Just
What
sick
would- He
fisherman.
wouldn't need to eat it though. What would he do with the fish?
And like
I guess
legs
he'd
would
sell it.
turn into
He would trade 'em,
thing.
yeah.
They could just like go out to the water. I am a boat.
Dude, he would just run across the fucking water.
Yeah.
Just like those lizards.
Picking off fish. That's cool. Somebody write that movie.
Yeah. Have
Or
you,
maybe.
Gary, get on it.
have you seen this depth finder? What? Get out of here. Okay, enough Skynet talk because we're gonna do this all day. What the hell did you punch in? To
It
get
was
this?
really easy. It's just drummer on fire with a laser drum kit, and it kind of didn't really do that, but it got close. For some reason, there's joints in there. I don't know. I don't know.
It fit. Speaking
Yeah,
of, all the love to our sponsors at King Palm.
Hey, those things
So
are
good.
the size of drumsticks.
These dog walker ones, they're literally, I realize this, it's not just a cool name. It's not like the shitty Beatles. It's not clever. It's literally for taking dogs on walks. They're little mini King Palms. So they're just big enough for you
Oh.
to take the dog for a walk around the block and go bloop, and it's gone.
Ah, that's
They're very
cute.
cool. So we got those guys. We got our Dragon ones over there. We got our XLs. We got the big ones, small ones, everything in between. I'm not wearing my bunny hug. I didn't have time to put my bunny hug on. The cotton candy bunny hug.
Oh yeah. That's
Either
right.
way, check out King Palm, best in the business. You light it up, then you just put it out and light it right back up again. No issues there. Magnificent and fantastic. And we love them all over there. Mary Ann and Sydney and the rest of the team with King Palm. Thank you.
Love
very,
the
very
King
much.
Palms.
Yes. Always repping. Okay, I'm going to turn my mic off now and you guys can drum away. This is it. I know exactly how these things go.
We're gonna break out a drum kit here, and
Hell yeah. This is actually a how-to video,
yeah.
which we do want. I've been saying a long time, we need to start making how-to videos.
I think
so.
that would be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd
Well,
be good.
we already have plans.
I've always had this idea, like I feel like Saskatoon, cities that are a little bit bigger than Saskatoon, I feel like it's a little too big. It's just the perfect size where there's some, I'm not going to say everybody because that's crazy, but there are some really quality drummers here in
Oh,
this
yeah.
city, and we all know each other.
Yeah.
I'm not just like, oh, I played a couple of shows with him. Like, backstory, I met Graham. I was a fan of Graham before I even lived here, and he was a fan of my dad before he even knew that.
Before I was old enough to drive.
Before, well, even before, like I had met him, and he didn't know that my
Yeah, didn't know
dad
the
was who he
connection,
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
But we had already clicked, so we were already buddies. And then
That's
when
just a
that
mind
happened,
blower now,
it
yeah.
kind of changed it from like, okay, so we're friends to like, even if I don't see Graham for 25 years, that's my brother over there. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain, and I've recorded 2 records in his studio.
Yeah, yeah. Or
And
farm.
we've had lots of hours of talk.
And that's the weird part too, because we don't get to do that very often. Like, because there's bands that we've played in that are the same band, so it's like you can talk about it when you're not out gigging, but we're always, doing the same thing with other people. So when do you really get to hang out at a show? Unless our bands are playing the same show, but I'm not sure if that's happened in 10 years or more.
Joshua's Habit and Arcana Kings. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I think.
Was that at Bud's?
That was at the Black Cat.
Ooh. Oh,
for it.
man.
Wait for it.
There's been a couple now that I just like, wow.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 of them. Okay.
They all bleed together.
I was thinking it would have been a metal show.
We definitely did play.
Like Sparky
Yeah.
Fresh.
Yeah. We
Years.
did that at, I want to say Vern's in Calgary, but it wasn't Vern's. It was a cooler venue.
It was in Calgary?
Yeah.
Cool.
We did that gig twice together.
Then Dickens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dickens. Yeah. And you and me, we geeked out that whole fucking night.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's the crazy shit that happens. You know, like there's no way for us to explain to you, you know, what it is that we're talking about as we're talking about it.
I know.
But it's gonna take off. And that's the kind of thing when you're hanging around all the other guys and somebody will come up and, you know, 2 drummers are in hard conversation. They're just like, oh, hey. Oh,
Yeah,
Turn
good
around
luck
and walk
breaking
out.
into that one. That's
it.
the reverse. What's that jail in San Diego or San Francisco?
Oh, yeah, San Quentin? No.
The one on the island.
Oh,
Alcatraz. It's like reverse Alcatraz. You're not getting in here. Like there's 2 miles of ocean with 5 million sharks in there.
And
that haven't
arms are
eaten.
going to start flailing in about 30 seconds.
They get crazy.
Oh man!
You know that's just going bum, and going, oh yeah.
If there's a song playing in the background, like we'll be talking and we'll know that part's coming up, and we'll just be talking and we'll do it. And then like the conversation will stop for a second and it'll be like, fuck, that's rad. Yeah. But yeah, man, this snare drum, this Black Beauty Ludwig, yeah.
I love that feel, bro. Do you hear that? Woo.
Yeah, man. That's how it is.
Drum
like
talk.
and you know, when you get 10 drummers into a room, then everyone starts to feel comfortable. It's not so much drum talk anymore. It's all just kind of like music and
Just talk.
just talking. Like you can that, and I was trying to do that years ago when we were opening up. We had the jam space. Wanted to have like drum hangs.
Yeah, drum
'Cause
sheds.
Stuff like that happens in other cities because the jam spaces are bigger. And you know, there is 40 or 50 jam spaces at the cool place in Montreal. Like I'm sure there's just a rentable space where guys will, oh, just bring your kid in here on a Sunday afternoon. We'll mess around for a bit.
Yeah, you're locked in here though for 8 hours and there's 10 of us.
Yeah, and everyone wants to be there. They're showing up because this is going to be fun.
Yeah, man.
And like you see stuff like that, a lot of the gospel chops stuff online.
All the gospel chop stuff.
But that's church. You know, there's like a jam room at the church, so everyone's there already, and like then those guys have the time to sit in because maybe they didn't sit in with the band, but the church is open at any time for them to go and practice. So that's where that culture kind of came from, and I've always thought that would be really cool instead of, you know, believing that there is some sort of a competition for work. It's like, well, no, you go and hang with each other, and like there's so many things to do artistically in the world that we're all not in competition here. Like,
but why, Graham, honestly, why is it like that? I've never looked at drums. I've never looked at being in a band. I've never looked at anything as that like a competition thing. I've never looked at anybody that I've met in real life and been like, yeah, so I'm going to go home now and rehearse so I can fucking kick that guy's ass.
Right.
Like, I've never, like, that's the last thing on my mind.
It's so far past that. I think it's the whole band wars thing.
You think so?
I think, well, because that's like an establishment's, you know, whatever it is, if it's an event center or a bar or a production company or a whoever, I'm going to create a battle of the bands. And you know how that stuff works. Go and sell tickets to your family. Selling magazine subscriptions. And it's what you go and make the money. You're not making any money. You're just bringing everybody in here to the bar to do a thing for the next 4 or 5 months. And
In
then
multiple
somebody
cities.
at the end will get the look at, you know, a big time agent will come in and they'll take a look at you or give you some advice or something like that, when really they were just friends with the bar owner and there to do drugs. Like they do not care about your band. Like some of those experiences.
That sounds like a sheepdog algorithm to me.
Well, like everyone gets like pitted against each other for some reason when they're all friends already.
And but
they
it's like
cannot
sec-
be
it's
friends
like
at the end of it.
It's all like secret bullshit stuff too. Like I've
We're
never
just trying
really
to
looked at
impress
it
the
from
bar.
that. That's such a like accurate display of how it goes down.
It's weird.
I'm really naive. I always thought like Battle of the Bands was like, well, you just got to make sure that you're the flavor of the week,
Yeah.
you know? But
Yeah.
really, and that's such a naive, ignorant, like fucking junior high thing to think, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what
Well, I
the
called
bar
6 times.
wants.
She just must be busy. She, you know.
That's what they want. They don't want to pay anybody and make all the money
It's
and
true.
use all these naive musicians to bring all their friends out.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them will actually establish something in the city and keep going, but like anything to not give you a guarantee. It
They
just-
already got their guarantee. They don't want to share that with you.
Yeah.
It's like the whole singer from Filter.
Oh yeah.
It's like I liked all the meet and greet money. I wanted to keep all that money to myself.
Right. Ugh. But yeah, I always thought that's the kind of thing that sows division amongst like a group of people, because it's like, oh, they won, they shouldn't have won, and it's like, why is that even coming up? Shouldn't have, should have. It does, like, what?
Yeah.
Everyone's just trying to have a good time here.
Exactly.
These are groups of people. These are human beings that are trying to enjoy their lives and
Same
have fun
shit
with their
that-
friends.
The same reasons you get out of bed and do this over and over and over again and come home owing money every fucking night, but you're gonna do that again next Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, it's very
Now
gluttonous.
you're hating that person for it's the same like as you get older in music, you get this I call it musical maturity. You
Yeah.
start seeing that shit as like fucking high school.
Yeah. Let's just go play and have a good time, maybe. Let's see what happens
Possibly, yeah.
That right there is a good example of just society as a whole now. Everyone, and we were talking about before, everyone's all about themselves. Nobody is about helping others. And I don't
At
care
all.
where you apply it to. Everywhere I go, like I suffer from agoraphobia, which is I've learned a fear of leaving the house, because every time I leave the house, everyone's angry. They're on their phones. No one's paying attention to anything. Like literally at stoplights, people at green lights on their phones with like frowns on their faces every single time I go out. It got to the point where like I only leave the house now to either go help my dad do some Costco shopping or go see my buddy recovering in the hospital, and that's it. And it's because exactly what you said. Everyone is in competition with everything all the time. No one can just say, hey, great to see you. So happy to see you succeeding. Instead of saying, great job, I'm so happy you're succeeding, people say, oh, you can't succeed. I should be the guy
Yeah,
succeeding.
he doesn't fucking
He
deserve,
doesn't deserve
that.
it. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that applies to anything across the board in this world we live in. That's why we started this place, is to change that.
and it's
The whole point of this
This
place.
is good.
Got to change it somehow.
We should have like little animals on here that have spikes being driven through them because the world's not perfect and you're all gonna die. And no one gives a shit and fuck your feelings. The world needs more of that. Like prior to this being turned on, kids need
were
beat your kids. Do everybody a favor and hit your fucking kids with something hard, like a stick.
Yeah.
I got drumsticks. I'll give you some.
just to be fair, so everyone's in the loop, I did say that the world has gone to shit because everyone acts now without any
repercussions.
of any kind. No one's held responsible for anything, so everyone just goes out and does everything because they all think they're the most important person in the world. And that's how society is falling.
And you know what? You didn't even deserve that explanation. To be honest, he didn't deserve any of that. He's just a nice guy.
Have you even complimented someone, bro? Have you even complimented before? The fuck out of here.
Who cares why you think he said that? You got a problem with it? Come over here.
So let's get into
solving the world's problems. What we're
some
doing.
road shit. I wanted to ask, what is your, I guess, like one of your favorite tour stories, whether it be anything, anytime, show stories, like
It's a very wide open question.
and to go back to it, your dad was the drummer for Breach of Trust. So
Yes.
did you ever tour with them? I know I've seen you on stage.
I got to be his fucking drum tech.
Exactly.
So,
That's so
like,
sick. Hell yeah.
I would like to try and make some cool story about like one of my bands, right?
Right.
But it's all the same. I sat in a van for fucking 7 hours with 3 other sweaty dudes smoking weed and cigarettes and coffee and like eating one fucking gross highway sub sandwich.
Oh, the
So it
best.
just smells like an atomic ass in the van.
So
Yeah.
gross.
As you're eating.
As you're eating, yeah.
Farts haven't even happened yet.
Yeah, that's next level.
Yeah, no, I think one of the coolest things I ever experienced was I was setting my dad's drum kit up here in Saskatoon. I would have been in grade 10, and he was on tour with Finger 11 and the Tea Party.
That's literally the show I was talking about, where I saw you on stage helping set up everything. It was like, oh, that must be Bill's kid. Like,
Yes,
as I
sir.
hadn't met you,
Mhm.
we wouldn't have met for like another 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
like at that time, I remember being in the crowd waiting for Breach to go on, because it was like, who was it? Slurpee Monday. I think there was a band called Slurpee
No,
Monday
yeah.
that
Please
was
tell me they're
touring with
still
them.
around.
And I
Please
remember
tell
seeing
me.
it on the poster, and I was like, what?
Slurpee Sunday.
I was like, what kind of band name is that, Dad? My dad. I don't fucking know, son. Did you polish those cymbals? Yeah, I did. Yep. Did you use the crest? I used to polish my dad's shit like I worked at Sabian, man.
With
I-
toothpaste?
With toothpaste and a really firm toothbrush.
Oh, yeah.
My
I
dad
bet.
had a 24-inch ride. You know how long it took that fucker to clean that thing?
Shine it so you can see yourself in it.
Dude, it was like,
Yeah.
it's got to be shinier.
it. Yeah.
This is going on. It might be in a music video. Like,
And that wicked yellow E-Peck kit.
fuck, man, the canary yellow E-Peck.
Shout out Ed Peck from Regina.
100%.
That was really cool. I remember seeing that. That made me want to contact Ed to be like, oh, you can make custom drums in Saskatchewan? This is nuts.
And they look that fucking good.
Oh, gorgeous.
and they
black
sound
hardwood. Oh.
amazing.
What was it, like a 26-inch or deep? Like, that was a deep
It
kick
was
drum.
so it's cool, man. My dad really did. He loved experimenting with shapes, dimensions.
Right.
I never
Sick.
really cared about that shit when I was young until my dad was like racking his brain, and I was like, okay, if he's thinking about it like this, and I want to be just like him, I'm missing a huge chunk of this. So I started asking my dad questions about stuff.
Yeah.
So
Why?
awesome. I
And
love
like
that. Why do you do that?
Yeah, exactly. Like a really the green kit, the Canwood kit,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is his first
Another
endorsement.
Saskatchewan drum maker.
Yes, sir. And I'm not even shitting on anybody, but just because it was my dad's first, that's my favorite drum company. It will be forever my favorite drum company. Just
The Pepper family.
because of the amount of work that went into that kit. Like Fred made, I bet you 5 of those kits before my dad bought one.
Mm-hmm.
Because my dad's like, I don't like this. I like that. Let's work on this bearing edge. But my dad, being up north and just living in that type of place, is cold. Taken out of the van. If you leave the back door open up north, sometimes for 5 minutes, your shit's frozen, dude.
Yeah.
It's like fucking
And
minus
wood
50 out there.
cracks.
So he was taking, and lacquer's expensive, but my Fred was spraying lacquer on pieces of wood at different temperatures outside and leaving it outside to see at what temperatures it would crack. Then he would add like thinners.
That's
and,
crazy,
Yeah, man. Because
man.
my dad was like, it needs to be like this. It needs to be like
To,
this.
Mad
to
scientist.
deal with the North.
It's a mad
That's
scientist
nuts.
right there.
And I remember when they got the dimensions back for that kit, my dad said the kick drum's gonna be a fucking cannon.
It is a cannon.
And it was like this long.
Yeah.
It was like, actually, it was probably longer. It was like this fucking long. It was a standard around, I think it was a 22.
22.
22 by like fucking,
Like 26 or 20, 30.
Yeah, 28 maybe.
Jeez.
It was a fucking cannon. And I was all, at that time, I was still into like the whole, did you know that Jimmy Page and John Bonham put tinfoil inside their drums?
Right,
So,
right.
you know, like, and my dad's like, okay, just the opposite side of that. That was a short 26.
Yep.
This is a long 26.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and
that-
it's 22 around. It's like the opposite dimensions.
It's so booming too. That's such a
When
present.
he hit it, just the air velocity through it, you could almost hear it resonate just through the timbre of the wood.
Right.
And I was like, holy fuck. I got that kit.
You have it.
My dad gave it my,
Wow.
okay, so this is pretty cool. My dad, when he got the EPEC kit,
Yeah.
it came in a giant fucking crate. And he
Oh,
pulled
cool.
it all out at home with the garage door open.
Yeah.
And I watched him just like pull apart this whole kit out of this box and set it up and play it all within an hour. It was all set up and he was playing a whole bunch of different stuff. And all I could think was, now what are you gonna do with that Camwood kit? Like, I'm playing this old beat up fucking Frankenstein kit in the shed,
Yeah.
and
All the other spare parts I
yeah,
made a kid.
oh,
out
dude,
of.
it was, and it was jacked up. Like, I had like one Rogers rack tom, I had a Westbury floor tom,
Yeah.
like some fucked up half soldered, snare drum, and like just rivets holding this kick skin
Hi-hat
together.
stand don't work. You just clamp it on.
You just fucking vice grip it
Yeah.
shut.
Yeah, it's got vice grip still on it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
messed
Don't
around
hit it
with
this way, you'll break it.
Yeah.
But I asked him, I said, so what are you gonna do with the Camwood kit? He goes, I don't know. And he was just busting my balls. You knew I wanted it the day he got it. But he goes, I don't know, fuck, I might give it to Cheech. And I was like, I was just like, what, Dad?
I love Cheech, but
Yeah,
no.
right? What? He plays in Saskatchewan. Like,
Yeah.
give it. I'm your son.
Yeah.
I was the first one out your nuts, man.
Yeah.
Me. It's mine.
Yeah.
And he did give it to me. And that kit, everywhere I went, every drummer that bands were like, fuck, man, where'd you get that kit?
Yeah.
Asking to buy it off me, trade me.
Oh, that's got
And I
too
was-
much history on it.
And
man.
I was like, no fucking way. It's my father's kit that he custom built for himself, and I somehow got my greasy fucking hands
it's
on.
like
it.
a
That's all you
living
gotta say.
inheritance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So fast forward to I'm living in Saskatoon. This is fucking 15 years later. I decide that I'm gonna buy a different kit. I'm huge into Meshuggah all of a sudden, and
Who wasn't?
man, I'm still like people. I don't think people like talking about Meshuggah to me because I'm like, oh yeah, you think you know Meshuggah? You want to fucking, you want to tussle?
Yeah. I was literally listening to them on the way here.
Dude, they're the best.
Combustion is my alarm.
Really,
Yeah.
man.
Dude,
Dude, it's so crazy. It's so
wake
crazy.
up to that every day.
Would you say Meshuggah is like a drummer's band?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
100%.
because even the guitar players are like playing drum parts.
Yeah, it's all kind of just mapped out. Like it's.
I just
you have
realized
to watch the charted map.
a lot of the drummer and metal fans that I know all love Meshuggah. And that
so-
just totally
it's so-
clicked in my brain.
Gary, it's so intricate that it's like you could break down the drum kit on their guitar strings.
Yeah.
So the two top strings are kick drums.
Right.
The strings below that are toms and snares, and then all the lower ones are
I get
cymbals.
the allure, yeah.
And it's
That's
like,
nuts.
and if you can hear that shit
Yeah.
and understand that when you're listening to the music, if you can close your eyes and imagine that,
Melts
you
your
can see
mind,
that
yeah.
shit happening. And it's like there's no other way it could ever be done that way.
And it was like back in the day, I remember listening to fans bitch that Meshuggah, this is at the Tool show that I went to, first time I ever saw Meshuggah, all of these Tool fans were like, those guys are ridiculous. They don't even know how to headbang to their own music. And I'm looking at it and it was just like, you don't know how that works.
Yeah.
They're headbanging in 4/4 and it's all in like dancing around 4/4. It'll eventually come back around.
Just keep.
But if you keep on that, you can hear the song. It's
You'll
not
find the
just
pocket,
random stupid notes here, dude. This is a mental game.
Yeah.
Like this is really fun to listen to
Mhm.
if you just sit in it and you listen to it and headbang with them, and then you hear the weird cycles that they're
And
making.
it will wrap around. One of these will be on that
Yeah.
one. One of them has to be on that one.
It's gonna take 8 bars to go all the way through it, but you have to get all the way through it.
I always shit on Tool fans for that.
Yeah,
Because I feel like,
they copied them.
and it's like, how can you read algebra, right? But you're fucking up the long division right now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
can't
Like,
do
how
any
can
of
how can you be a mathematician in calculus, but you're fucking up basic
Literally
math
basic.
right
4
now?
plus 4.
Exactly. And it's like, I just feel like I'm biased, right? Like, Tool's amazing, Danny's amazing, the whole band is amazing, but like nobody's more amazing than Meshuggah in the metal world.
Yeah, they kind of just took it to a certain level. They've created subgenres just by people trying to attempt to do what they're doing, and and they've always just stuck to their guns and did what they wanted to do. So it's kudos to them for doing that, and that's how I guess subgenres are created.
Yeah.
like no one can really be Meshuggah. You can go in and try,
Right.
but like
You can go in and try.
you're gonna.
Not
There's
good,
so
not
many other bands that are 10 times more, faster, more intricate, comes up with crazier patterns, but none of them would have existed unless they did it first.
Yes, and
Like,
that's just how it
crack
is.
open the idea.
Yeah, it's
Now
like,
everyone does it.
yeah, man,
The whole
exactly.
gent culture
So,
and all that shit.
Now watch this, boys. Now we take it all the way back. You are about to buy a new drum kit, and
right.
I got you, dog.
This is how it happens. You see?
And that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
And you are looking at purchasing, and you're listening to Meshuggah.
Yeah. So
Take it away.
I've seen the PDP X7 series. It had 3 racks, 2 floors,
Sounds sexy.
single kick. I wanted 2 kicks because that's the hack setup.
Right.
And I bought all the HHX line.
Yeah.
I was already
Yeah.
another reason I love Meshuggah and
He
Thomas
uses Sabian.
is he uses Sabian. My dad's first cymbal company endorsement was with Sabian.
Canadian company.
Canadian
yeah.
company right here in Moncton, right?
Yeah, somewhere, New Brunswick. Somewhere.
Yep, Moncton, New Brunswick. So I was already a Sabian fan. Thomas has been fucking just ruling my mind, living rent free for over a decade, and I see all the magazines and at the time,
Yeah.
everybody on the computer, you'd see Thomas with the HHX.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Go with the dark. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
before like legacies were even a thing, or
Yeah.
and I was just like, I saved all my money, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm only buying HHX until I die.
And,
like,
and there's something that, parents don't necessarily understand when they're getting their kid into drums. And luckily, both of our parents already had instruments around.
yes.
So, like, for a first-time investment, it's like, oh, I'm going to go rent a drum or buy a small drum kit. Can I do that for $300? It's like, sure. But once you get into it, that won't even buy a crash cymbal.
Yeah.
And, like, so, the kit that you're using, how much money is that? It's like, you actually don't want me to tell you this.
No.
Like, you are going to go somewhere else and give your kid a recorder. Like, it's just like, here, play this pan flute. Like, dude, because like the basic crap, like you're spending minimum $3,500 to put together a nice drum kit.
Yeah. Like just
Basic.
ballpark right now. I got 3 kits
Yeah.
now, and I can facilitate cymbals for all of them.
Oh,
Right. So I got 4 sets of hats, 4 rides. I got 8 crashes,
Yeah.
4 chinas, 6 splashes. I'm sitting on like $8,000 worth of cymbals.
Yeah, I would say it's
Just in
just
cymbals.
cymbals.
Just cymbals, not the hardware,
Man.
not the shells, not the racks, not the cage, none of that stuff.
Goalies and drummers.
Yeah.
It's the same
Right.
shit,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
Like goalie equipment, like parents hate when their kids want to be a goalie because you're
That's totally
spending
true.
like thousands and thousands of dollars
Yeah, and you better
just
be
to get
good.
started. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Good
with
comparison
drums,
right there.
that was a part of the way I kind of learned as well. Like when I got my first drum kit that wasn't my dad's, he pitched in half. I had saved up money. I got the other half, and I was 14 years old, and it was a $2,100 drum kit,
Damn.
and that was in that would have been in the 90s.
Yep.
And that was also because Brad King was.
Hey, shout out to Brad King.
shout
I don't
out
know if
Brad.
he's ever going to watch this podcast, but
we love you, buddy.
dude, Brad is one of Saskatoon's icons.
Yeah, I had
And-
lessons with him for 7 or 8 years.
I'll tie Brad into another conversation about my dad. So when I bought this X7 kit,
Yeah.
and I showed my dad, I was so fucking revved. I'm like, Dad, you got to see this kit the next time you come and visit, man. And he's like, okay, I'm looking forward to it. I'll come this weekend. Yeah. This is how it is with me and my dad. Like we're like,
Your bond over that shit.
dude, it's like the way we talk about music is like the way people talk about money. Banks talk about money.
Yeah,
There's nothing fucking funny going on
Yeah.
here.
It's business.
yeah,
Yeah. And it's like that's all we talk about.
yeah.
I have 3 other brothers, my dad, and only one of us out of us 4, only one of us doesn't play drums.
Yeah, like I think the only drumming family from this province that I know of. You
Like-
guys are like drumming royalty.
Like
Sick, dude.
and it's not just me either. Like I played my first show when I was 12,
It's crazy.
but my dad was on tour at 16.
Yeah.
My brother Clifford, he's 26. He'll be 26 this month.
shit,
nailed
I
it.
know.
Oh.
I know. We're fucking old.
And I've been watching Cliff's stuff for years online. He's gnarly good.
Man, and so I don't think he played his first show at 12, but he was playing Remembrance from Gojira at 12.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing any shit like that.
Nice, easy song, hey?
And yeah, the
Wow.
the lineage goes. Everyone keeps getting better
And
and,
it's
better
so
and
fucking
better.
deep with him, man. I don't even test that shit either.
Yeah.
Like, you know when your brother will fuck you up is when you don't even just.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, what are you listening to? Oh, just some stuff I mixed. Do you want to hear it? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like listening to it, and in my inside, I'm just like, what the fuck? This, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, man.
That's all right.
You just did this
No
while
emotions,
playing
no
video games?
feelings.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I just did that this morning before I took a shower.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Clifford?
Yeah. Good
Talent,
though.
man.
That's
yeah,
really
man.
cool.
The things that I love about my brothers, Will too. He's the
Yep.
the second in command.
Right. Right.
He can play drums, but he's a guitar player. He chose to be a guitar player at a very young age, and for like if you were to compound all the drumming skills that Clifford, me, and my father have, if you were to condense that into one person, that would be my brother on guitar.
Wow. Cool.
And I would say that with like no clout,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
He's honestly everything he does is just so calculated, premeditated.
That's
thought
incredibly
out.
high praise.
He's
though,
a
right there. Like,
fucking
that's-
genius,
yeah.
man. I always say he's the best Aubut around.
Yeah. 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 There's and like that's everyone kind of pushes each other, right?
Yeah,
Like you're
love that.
talking. You know, there's
and we
there
don't even got to
there's
say anything.
rules.
These are pushes with no words, no actions, nothing.
Right.
You just feel it in the room. Like you know when you got a shit,
Yeah.
it's the same feeling. It's the same feeling, except you don't ever shit. It just stays there. Oh.
It's just
It's the constant constipation.
Yeah, exactly. So when he came to see the kit, I had the Canwood kit broken down in the second bedroom, and he goes, "So what are you gonna do with that Canwood kit?" And he fucked with me when he gave it to me, right? And I said, "I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep it."
yeah.
And my dad's like, "You should give it to Clifford," right? And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna keep it." And all of a sudden, my dad's like pissed off.
Yeah.
right? But what my dad didn't know was that so Canwood was done.
Right.
And Ed from EPEC was in Regina doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had these drums. There's all this meaning and history, and he took over Canwood. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah. You bought,
and-
bought stuff.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say take over.
Right.
That's the wrong words. And I know I'm being recorded, so I better watch what I say. But I took those Canwoods to Ed,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, I want to add another tom. I want to keep the bearing edges the same, but I want to rewrap these, and I want to give these back to my dad
Cool.
as like a gift.
Right, right.
You know.
Yeah, that's
And
so sweet.
So I went with I was like, I'm not sparing any expense. I want all new lugs. I want all
Cool.
new pins. I want all new
Everything.
everything. I
Yeah.
wanted a brand new kit.
Soup to nuts outside of the
Like I
wood.
just give him back this beat up road piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least
Here.
slap some lipstick on the fucking thing. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? Like
Here,
Sex
store
her up
these
a bit.
again.
I went to Regina and I spent literally 6 hours looking through all of his colors, his wraps, the fades, the bursts, everything.
Yeah.
And when I tell you that Ed is a patient man,
Oh, yeah.
he's a very patient man. If that was any other red-blooded human being, they'd be like, "Get the fuck out of my shop now! You're
I
asking
have
me
stuff to do.
the stupidest shit ever."
Oh, yeah.
But Ed, knowing the history, because Brad and my dad were endorsed to Sabian and EPEC at
And
the same
EPEC,
time.
yeah.
So Brad knew my dad before I knew who Brad was, and vice versa. But I remember I got those drums made up, and he came back the next time, and there was a box from biggest to smallest all the way up in my apartment from floor, and it literally was scraping the ceiling. And he walked in and he goes, "What's that?" And I said, "No, just some shit. You should grab that top box and open it up."
Check her out.
And this was the brand new tom, because he always said, "Fuck, you know, I wish I always made a fucking 8 or a 10
Yeah,
for
yeah.
this Canwood
Yeah.
kit." So I made a 10
Nice.
with the same dimension specs, all in
Right.
scale.
Yeah.
And he opened it up and he goes, "What the fuck is this?" I said, "That's a 10 by 8, Dad."
Yeah.
He goes, "For what?" I said, "That's the first rack tom to the Canwood kit." And he opened the next box. My dad's a man, you know. He was just fucking crying.
You
Dad.
just broke 'em.
And I,
You did it.
being my
You
dad's
did it.
son,
Yeah.
knowing what this, because I was already like, my dad's gonna.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
so revved.
Yeah.
And I started crying. We hugged. And I said, you can give that to Clifford if you want. And he goes, fuck him. So my dad went out and bought him another kit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he took that one home.
That's
and
awesome.
But this is also the other cool thing is like, he ended up giving it to Clifford.
Oh, really? Down the line?
Yeah.
No
like
way.
fucking 5 years later. He's like,
Good.
Cliff, you should play this. And Clifford was like, no fucking way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude. And it's still around.
So
And
it's gone through the gamut.
it's
back
went
and forth
all the
and-
way back. And then my dad,
So fucking.
after he got it back, he's like, son, don't get mad. I know this probably cost you a lot of money, but I cut some of these drums up. And man, the flake that I got on those was the most expensive flake. It's actual shards of glass. Like, you know, because when you get the champagne finish, it's those tiny little squares.
Yep.
It's like glitter.
Yeah, it looks glittery. Yeah.
This stuff is smashed fucking stained glass
Really?
with lacquer layered over it.
That's
Really?
And that was the wrap I got from my dad, and it was a burst it just had a beautiful fade, and the colors it went from like silver to jet black back to silver.
Cool. That's really cool.
It was amazing. It took me a long time to pick it. Like I was like, hey, like
Right.
that, just the wrap on that cost more than my whole X7 with the fucking hardware.
Yeah.
I'll put it to you that
Yeah.
way. And I was just so happy I could do that.
Dude, you can't put a price.
No.
And
No.
especially like those situations, like if I ever have a moment where I can give back to my dad like that, like that's got to be the best feeling in the world.
It's
Because there's only
amazing.
so many things that could do that, right?
Kids.
When you're at this point, that's
Kids is like the only thing I could think, like, what would
Yeah.
be more important than those drums that I gave to my dad? Nothing.
Yeah.
What's a close second? Well, his grandkids.
yeah, legit though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
man.
I don't know if I could ever come up with anything I could give my dad that would get that response. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And like my dad and I were super tight. Like he's literally helped me build this whole place.
That's
And
awesome.
I sort of look at it like this is sort of a gift to him to show him, and mostly because I've spent my entire life never working, and this is the first time I've actually worked, like really worked. Like I sat on my ass for years doing radio, 25 years of just sitting there doing.
I
nothing.
can tell you as a father of four, him building this with you is the
Yeah.
gift that he's always
loving it.
wanted.
He
Yeah,
loves
you bet.
this, just like
There's
we do.
nothing better than
and,
that.
And it's because he can see all the good it's doing, right? Like it's bringing all these people. He hears people out in our city talking about this place.
That's
And
awesome.
I guess that's sort of. Thank you for talking me through that. Maybe this is our drum kit exchange. This place.
Hell
I
yeah,
like that.
dude.
Some good therapy there.
So without, you know,
Oh, here I'm gonna make sure the levels are on.
Oh shit.
I don't know how much we're gonna if we're allowed to play on here.
Hey, as the drummer's son, I give full permission to play this whole fucking record.
Yeah. It is literally one of the best records to ever come out of this province.
And,
And still-
EMI, if you got a problem with that, you can lick D's.
Yeah. This is. Go out, listen to it. It's amazing. I just want to say thank you for coming
Yes,
in.
sir. Yeah, man. Yes, I want to be
Like-
back.
And we can do this forever. But luckily
You're gonna be back.
luckily this is we live close, so we can do this a lot.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Thank you guys for having me.
So we'll get you in here again. We'll tell some more stories.
That's fantastic.
That was beautiful, man.
Thank you. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it was good.
Yep, this is equivalently beautiful.
Hell yeah.